Wait, did he take him? Okay, okay, never mind about that. But on to the match: Pikachu versus Chandelure. Oh man, let's hope this is a really hype match. Because in my experience, I've seen very few Chandelures as hype, but don't quote me on that. I'm just not a fan of Chandelure. I'm fine with him in Pokemon, but in this game, nah. But anyways, so in the field phase, for those who don't know, Chandelure is a campy / zoning type of character. So in the field phase, that's where she shines. And then Pikachu is Pikachu. And I'm hearing someone on
Pikachu is Pikachu. That may be the most profound commentary ever driven in the history of commentary. Thanks for joining us on the Versus Gameplay stream. We're going to be broadcasting, I believe this is a money match, correct? Or is that...
No, this is an actual match.
This is an actual tournament match. Never mind. So yeah, like you touched on before, with Chandelure, of course, you have to be so cautious in the field phase just because that character has so many fantastic zoning options. But let's not forget about Hex, that incredible command grab that Chandelure has. It's so useful in the duel phase, and that's going to make things really scary for Jolts, who's essentially trying to break the zone. But right there, even when Jolts breaks the zone, he has to be cautious of overheat, and SquidBuster with an excellent usage of Espeon there just to go and take away all of the debuffs that come with popping the that option. Ooh, Jolts.
That was such a premature burst.
Well, he wanted to close the distance, right? And even though he wasn't able to actually get the attack from the burst itself, his positioning temporarily was a lot better. But then he got caught by the ranged attacks, got conditioned to shield, and right there, Hex comes into play. That long command grab comes in, and Jolts loses round number 1.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I believe Chandelure has a slight advantage against, just because Pikachu has to get in to do his stuff, like all the things he needs to be doing.
You know, I can definitely see that. For Pikachu, Pikachu does have some solid projectiles, especially when you consider Pikachu to Pikachu Libre, for example. But in a pure matchup, when you go projectile versus projectile, you're probably going to lose against Chandelure. So what I'm looking for from Jolts really is just to try to keep the Chandelure on its toes, right? Get a lot of mix-ups, maybe some sparingly used CADCs to kind of get close. Because what he's doing right now is perfect. He's broken the zone. He's been able to get up close and personal to Chandelure, and he's actually used his own burst. Gonna go ahead and get away with this burst attack. This Volt Shock Fist is gonna be doing a great deal of damage, very nearly taking out the entirety of the health. You can already see SquidBuster at only 28, and that long ranged attack is gonna be enough. I believe that was a Thunder at the end there.
That's Thunder and Burst. There's 2 hits to it.
That's right.
Alright.
So this is the final round for this first game. So he's going to come out on top. SquidBuster opening up with some solid range attacks, just the standard poke combos to start things up. But Jolts, he was able to hold shield long enough and slowly close the distance to the point where those homing attacks were going to be more than enough. But again, SquidBuster pushing things right back into the field. And like you touched on, Chandelure can be very scary in this phase. But Jolts, I think, has done a really good job of adapting to this Chandelure's play. You've only really been seeing these standard poke combos using the standard range sort of attacks. We haven't really seen Will-o'-the-Wisps coming out yet. That's an overheat. That's going to be some huge damage. I'm looking for the Espeon, and here it comes. Going to recover a lot of HP. Those debuffs are gone now, and now overheat back on the picture. But right there, oh, I thought that was going to be able to connect.
I thought so too.
He picked up on those patterns, but he just wasn't close enough. Either way, still able to get a nice amount of damage, at least with some homing attacks. 8 damage, and that's going to be all she wrote. Jolts taking that first game pretty solidly. So let's go back for a second, GP, and reflect on that match. You know, you touched on how with Chandelure, it's such a zone area oriented character. What was it that made it so we saw that SquidBuster had such a tough time keeping Jolts out?
It's just because when he's playing in the duel phase, he's not throwing enough out. He's not like throw a smoke screen, because if Jolts touched that, he would still get a debuff regardless, because that's still a projectile lasting out there. He's not throwing enough lasers, and he's not predicting when he'll jump on some occasions. Like in the field phase, he's doing just fine.
I mean, even then, I would love to see some mix-ups in the field phase as well. We've just been seeing standard ranged attacks
like that, right there.
Yeah, that's solid too. You know, maybe it's just because I'm expecting more Will-O-The-Wisps. One thing that Chandelure does have are these properties on her Pokken moves, on her Pokemon moves, where you can't counter them. They actually pierce counters. So maybe if SquidBuster started incorporating a couple more of those Will-O-The-Wisps, he could get a little bit more mileage in this field phase.
Yeah, definitely. Because I have not seen him throw out that one move where you just see 4 fireballs and they just go at him.
Now,
that one.
There's the slow-moving fireballs. Yeah,
where you can charge it, where you can stay in place or just go.
I think you're thinking about Will-O-The-Wisp. Another Volt Shock Fist. It's going to be coming up short, though. Looks like SquidBuster, he's in a really good spot here, even though we're in the duel phase. But you have to keep in mind that Jolts, whenever he's able to close the distance here, he's going to get some big damage. Right there, going for the grab, is not able to come out on top. But he's slowly, he's slowly trying to make this lead start to disappear. Jolts, though, ooh!
That defense down, taking effect.
And that's what we're talking about, right? With Chandelure, you have to always keep the pressure up, right? If you give Shandy the room to work, especially with a character as stubby as Pikachu, you're not going to come out on top. And it's very possible, because Jolts was at such a low health, he was thinking about overheat, right? Because we saw overheat be such a big factor in that last set. Sorry, in that last series.
Yeah, and what SquidBuster needs to keep doing as well is make sure to keep debuffing him, because that's where Chandelure's damage will come into play. And Hex will do a lot more damage when he gets it off.
Well, looks like we're going to be seeing SquidBuster shift into the duel phase as he shifts into burst mode as well. But he's running out of time. He hasn't been able to do a whole lot. Jolt's getting a great Thunder to keep him in place. And you'll notice he has no burst left. He's going to need to pop it right now if he's going to be utilizing it. But right there, I think the fact that Quagsire's support came into play made it so he couldn't actually pull off that final flicker that he was hoping to do.
Up here comes defense down with the Smog.
And this is some big damage. He's at that, operating from that sweet spot that we were talking about before. Jolts trying to find a way in, and that Thunder gave him so much leverage. At 22 health, SquidBuster doesn't have much left. Oh, and caught him pushing a button. That Volt Shock Fist will be more than enough. Don't even have to go with the full animation as we go into round 3 of this second game.
Oh man, these are really good sets, back and forth. Now it's just a matter of let's see who literally takes this game to. Very nice.
Range attacks, they're definitely working out. Ooh, catching him with the jump.
What SquidBuster is actually doing really well is charging the laser instead of just letting it off.
Yeah, and what that does is that it forces you to be a little bit more cognizant of your actual jump time, right? Because if you jump at a steady pattern, then you're going to be caught with the laser on the way down, or as Jolts saw, actually on the way up. Again, heavy damage being dealt, not really in field phase like you predicted, but actually in the duel phase itself, where Jolts has been unable to close the distance. But I'm liking his play here. And right there, that was absolutely beautiful. He actually jumps up to avoid the laser. He's understanding the projectile-oriented sort of play, but right there, that overheat's going to do so much damage that the Espeon is going to give him a great amount of HP recovery. That, coupled with the fact that he just went into burst, makes game 2 looking very much in favor of SquidBuster. And wow, Jolt's coming up just short. He did close the distance, but because he got hit by that laser, he just got pushed all that much further back. And all the ground that he actually worked for in the field phase gets completely negated. So tied 1 apiece here. We're going to be going on to game number 3. Let's go ahead and reflect on this last game. So in game number 1, it was Jolts all over SquidBuster. We didn't really see SquidBuster be able to set up the zones. But truth be told, I don't feel like he changed all that much as far as his gameplay went. It just felt like Jolts was falling for a lot more.
Yeah, Jolts is falling for a lot more during that second game, because honestly, SquidBuster was doing a lot of the same things, except he was using lasers more, and just because he was abusing Pikachu's jump, which he doesn't go that high actually when Pikachu jumps in the duel phase.
And nice adaptation from SquidBuster. You're noticing that he's not just blindly pushing the ranged projectiles anymore. He's actually waiting for the jumps and then adapting with some fantastic ranged attacks.
Yeah, just because I think he's starting to notice that Pikachu's jump is like a fast faller. So he can abuse that so much, especially if he goes in for an attack. Ooh, this is going to be big combos.
Oh yeah, a Volt Tackle going to be putting SquidBuster at about half HP. And the fact that he has that synergy gauge fully charged up as well is not going to help. Oh, Quagsire coming into play, nowhere to run.
Oh.
And wow, I think he may have been attempting to do something like an overheat.
I was seeing it was an overheat. He was glowing red.
He had the right idea, but you know, Quagsire just kind of keeps you in place there. It's such an annoying, feat to really deal with, especially when you're a character who has to be able to keep that distance. The fact that support locks you in place if you're in that threat zone makes it so scary. Guard break coming out for SquidBuster.
Oh, almost got the grab off. And nice anti-air.
He's again adapting to the jump. Beautiful zoning actually from Jolts there. He was just out of range of Hex and was able therefore to set off a nice amount of projectile presence himself. And again, coming in, is that Skull Bash that he's using in the air? I have to double check.
I don't think so. He's using his feet. Oh, Quagsire.
These Quagsire supports has been such a big factor. SquidBuster able to hang in there. Oh, what a
combo! Diverse!
And that final flicker, it might be the final flicker of hope that SquidBuster has in this series. He needs to take this round, otherwise he's going to be going sent to the loser's bracket.
What he needs is to get out of the field phase and get some health like that, but he also needs that from the field, the switch of the phases.
Oh yeah, that phase shift, and there's the phase shift that you were touching on before. Some of this game looks very doable. Lost chances, and wow!
What a comeback!
Full screen, and that's just where Chandelure operates so well. Especially whenever you're strictly playing the projectile game. That's all he was looking for. He didn't want to chance it with the grab. We're going to round 3 in this final game of this series.
Oh my gosh. He just went in there.
Yeah, that's a great changeup in neutral. We're not noticing the pure projectile play in the field phase, right? We're actually seeing him willing to go and break the zone with his own homing attacks, which is fantastic to see. He's basically right now telling Jolts, I have initiative, I have control of this game, and that actually really plays out whenever you look at the actual health between both of these characters. SquidBuster, of course, at full HP, but that Thunder is gonna hurt.
This is gonna be a
flicker, and wow!
Is this gonna be it? I don't think so. He was at 210 when he got hit. No, it's not.
Wow, a sliver of health remaining for Jolts, and all the debuffs as well. He has to play perfectly from this point, but he gets caught jumping. SquidBuster is going to be advancing in our winner's bracket. What started off so well for Jolts all of a sudden changed and backfired. And I really do feel like it was